All right, I'm back with the negative space. This one here I did with the Sketch and Wash. When I went in with my water to smooth it out, I found out that this was big blank area actually was supposed to have something in it, and I wasn't sure what. When I went to the store to get these to use with the kids, so I thought this would be a lot of fun as an intermediary watercolor thing, I wasn't able to get them. So I decided instead that this would be a good thing to do. And of course, you know, kids love these kind of pencils. Got 3 General's Peel and Sketch charcoal pencils. And if you've never used one of these, I wore this one down. It started with as much as these. No, I think I peeled it a little for one, and it's all worn down just on this one drawing here. So these, you just peel back one circle. I don't see the circles on here. Anyway, one width of paper. Just one. It's lots of fun to peel it off, but just one. And then the more charcoal you have sticking out the end, the softer you need to draw. But I thought that these would actually be better for kids because they can learn to hold them like this and draw sideways, because we've got to stay out of our own shadow in order to do these things. And you can also draw a lot more quickly, and holding them like this, you know, because you'll be drawing more softly and more quickly to get the whole thing drawn in. So I did these on 2 separate days, but the shadows are pretty much the same, and it looks like I lucked out. I matched them up. This little crook here is here, and this crook here is here. So this stuff here is this. So I'm going to put that in. Just going to have to cheat a little bit, but not really, because I was going to take this out and try to match it up with the shadow, but you know, you have to work pretty fast on these as it is. Within 15-20 minutes, things have changed considerably, which is what happened here. Things were changing, and I said, nah, I'm just going to leave it and come back and do it, because it was too far different. So I'm going to work in here on duplicating this business here right now. So what have we here? That's that and that. That and that. That. I think lines up with that. I think that's the one there. Do you see how these are actually in different positions? No, this business here is this, and this business here is this. Okay, so the edge of that would come up here. This is directly over what? Yeah, that's about right there. Okay, so I've got, I can see this shape here. All right. It's a different size too. I've got to pay attention to that. Oh, maybe I'm going to sit down. No, that's not good. Okay. That's that. And then this. And I am not really looking too much at this paper here. I'm just looking here and doing my best to follow that line as if I were my own pantograph. Okay, and good, I made it around that one. Okay, good, and that is correct because there's that guy there. And it's going to run into that. And there's a lumpy thing there, that's probably that. So I'm going to just haul this guy on down here like so and pick this one up and assume that that's what that is. And come on up here, relating to there now. Notice I am not using any words for these shapes. It's just here and there and this place and that place. Because those kind of words are stored in a different part of our brain than the drawing part. And that's why you hear a lot of us here on YouTube use a word that sounds kind of like the word we had in mind, but it's not quite right. I think I'm going to make this one just a little bit different, looking back at that. Okay, so that, you know, that's close enough. Well, what's this? I see I had something sketched in here, in this little triangle. So I'm going to now, should I make up something to go back there? Oh well, I'll just pretend that there's something there. This is a jade plant, by the way. This is the shadow of a jade plant. Am I recording? It looks like it. I hope so. Right. Now, these brushes that I've been using here, these are the actual brushes I'm using with the students. And it's really very challenging on paper this size. I do need to be using a larger brush. And what I have in mind here for putting color into these shapes, initially I was thinking I could make it like a stained glass window and just put, I don't know, some kind of colors of glass, pretend glass back here, and it could be different modelings and things like that too, because the glass in stained glass is not completely uniform. So I thought we could do that for just for space fillers. And I put this in to demonstrate first what would happen. Gee, that was pretty painless. I put that off for a while, getting those done. Repair work. I think these took maybe 20 minutes outside in the sun using the shadow. Maybe a half an hour, but no more than that because the shadows would have changed wildly in that amount of time. And I noticed, I was looking at the video, the earlier part of this, and I noticed I should point out that I'm not choking my brush. I'm not down in here doing this. Okay, we'll save that for later. Maybe 2 layers from now, you can go in and do detail stuff. But right now, use the biggest brush that you can handle, or the biggest brush you have that'll come to a point. Sometimes we have a big brush like our Super Sopper, and that has no point on it. And I believe I'm going to pull out the Super Sopper to get all of this area wet back here so that I can get a nice even wash on it, even though I'm heading out with this stuff. I will do a little bit of that in here, pull some of it out just a little darker. I don't know if this stuff is going to pull out more once I get the color into it, once I've pulled it out once, or if it just stays however it is. Again, this is a water-soluble graphite. Okay, now, this paper does have a bit of a spread when you leave it, so that's kind of fun to do, is put a little extra water, especially in the early stages. You can look at how I'm holding my brush now. Can you even see what I'm doing? I'm way down here on the other end. At any rate, I was talking about the Super Sopper and getting that so that I can put a lot of water on at once in this large area here, so I don't have to do this kind of stuff. Because what I have in mind is possibly pretending that the sky is behind it, and then doing a nice wash from the blue down, perhaps through, oh, I could pretend that there's a sunrise sky behind it with some nice blue way up in the top, and then very light yellowish, pinkish coming up with maybe some pink clouds too. It's all stuff I've been looking at and thinking about and working up, getting information into the why of things with these watercolor washes. And mind you, with nice watercolor paper like this, you can do more than one wash. I'm just using water. And I haven't put any color at all in, and except for this from the pencil, and I'm perfectly happy. I can come back and go over it and make it darker. I can't come back and make it lighter like I can in acrylic or oil or gouache. So again, with watercolor, you're using the white of the paper to be your white. And this is going to remain white. All right, I think that's everything so far, although I really am anxious to throw some colors into there. I don't have the little box out with me, so next video, Super Sopper will make her appearance. I don't know if we got to look at these dry from the other day. By the way, this here is a really good example of what dry brush looks like in watercolor.